Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's your boy DC, Thursday night host of Rogers Out of the Fog.
Right, you kind of got to make your own fun.
Yeah.
Which was a transition for me, going into the morning show here.
Proud. Keep doing the amazing work, will you?
They're learning about how to hire people.
20 years of local matter, so join me every Thursday night and see what's going on in the fog.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is Out of the Fog, a local matter show we love so much. 20 plus years, but who's counting? Tonight on the show, we have three special guests we can't wait to share with you. Laura Winters, the executive director of Stella Circle, is talking about lighting up hope and a variety of amazing initiatives they've got going on. We can't wait to hear all about the work they're doing with social enterprise and homelessness. And also we have Dr. Shane Seal coming on the show from his institute, from aesthetics to skincare to deeper surgery, and his passion for giving back to the community. Dr. Shane Seal and his amazing team, they're gonna hook you up and we're gonna learn all about the great work that they do. And then finally, we have Sonya and Susan from an amazing annual conference growing every year for women with cancer. And this is something you're gonna learn all about and talk to your friends and neighbors. Right back after the break. This is Out of the Fog. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I'm joined by the one and only Laura Winters from Stella's Circle. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thanks for having us here today.
I'm so glad that you're here.
Yes.
I will say, many organizations working hard to do great work. Stella's Circle is right up there. And I want to ask you about your journey into this role and what led you there.
Absolutely. I've been really lucky to work in the community sector for around a decade now, and done work recently with the St. John's Status of Women Council, and the move to Stella Circle really is about expanding the work. They do so much work in the area of real help, real homes, and real work. So deep clinical, therapeutic work around helping people to connect to the workforce, and work in housing and homelessness, such a massive issue in our community right now, and one that I'm certainly passionate about.
I love to hear that, and it's so interesting because I as well share a passion for the subject, and we just had Home Again Furniture Bank on, and there are so many organizations who are doing the most to try to combat this issue. How do you feel about where we are today regarding the state of homelessness and the access to housing in our city?
It is so very challenging, and no one knows that better than both our frontline staff and the folks with lived expertise in homelessness. We're seeing, very low vacancy rates. We're seeing very little affordable housing available. I don't think folks know, but Stella's Circle is actually the largest provider of affordable housing in the community sector. And so just behind Newfoundland Labrador Housing and the City of St. John's, we operate 85 units currently, and we are developing 15 more. So we're really passionate about housing and affordable housing. We also do lots of work in supporting folks to move out of homelessness. So our team at the Brian Martin Housing Resource Center offer lots of supports to folks. And we run a young women's homelessness shelter, Naomi Center, for women under 30. So we're doing a huge amount of work in that area, and shout out to all the folks in our organization and across the sector who are doing that work in what are very challenging circumstances right now.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, and it's so incredible to learn what you just mentioned about the number of housing projects that you are involved in and the number of projects that you do. And I have to ask you, what is the biggest opportunity for us as viewers tonight when we hear about Stella Circle, the work you're doing around homelessness and help for that? What can we take away as actions that we may be able to do?
So for folks that can contribute, Tuesday, the 28th of November is Giving Tuesday. Right. And this is really a global movement around giving. And this year, Stella's Circle, as we have for many years, is lighting up hope. And so this is really an initiative where we have this year a very generous donor in Verifin. They are going to match contributions up to $10,000. Wow. So Donnie, if you go on and give $10, it turns into 20 because Verifin will match it. So you can go online at stellacircle.ca and hit the Giving Tuesday button, make a contribution, and it will be matched. We're also doing an event this year, the first time in person since 2019, which is very exciting. And so our Light Up Hope event is happening on that Tuesday. It's the 28th. It's happening from 6 to 7 at our Bonaventure Community Garden, where we do lots of horticultural therapy, and we've been developing that space. It's right next to the Holy Heart Auditorium. Right. And this is an event for folks to come out who are in community, for families, very family friendly. We've got fire jugglers, we've got hot chocolate, cookies. It's a feel-good event to get to meet and know Stella's Circle and meet folks in your community. And as a very exciting ad this year, our inclusion choir, which is made up of community members, participants, staff, people who want to sing and who have a voice and want their voice heard. That choir has been working with Kelly Loader to write an original song. We're so very excited. And it will be debuted that night at the Light Up Hope event. So huge things happening, really great feel-good kickoff kind of to the season. But an opportunity for people who might not know Stella's Circle, who might live in the neighborhood where our services are, to come out, meet staff, get involved, and also to give back and have their donation matched by Verifin.
That's amazing. I will tell you what, you, in your mind, gave me all the deets, and now I want to really dig into some of this. When it comes to the work that the Inclusion Choir does, and the gift of creating a song, what does that mean to the participants and for everybody involved?
It is so meaningful. I think it's really about grounding in this idea that everyone has a voice and everyone's voice deserves to be heard. And so you don't have to be a great singer to join that choir. It's about everyone's voice together, collectively coming together, and Kelly Loader and their values have just brought so much to the choir. The choir is so very excited for this debut, and if you can't make it to the event, we'll actually be debuting that song online with a music video that night as well. So it'll be there to listen to enjoy, and I think really it's about the values of Stella's Circle, of uplifting voices and of the dignity and, you know, the inherent value and worth of every single person in our community, and that's what this is all about.
Wow, so amazing and so articulate. And may I ask, when it comes to lighting up the night, which we're going to be doing soon, that's an annual event?
Absolutely.
Growing every year?
That's right. So yes, Light Up Hope has been on the go for many years now, and again, this is our first time back in person since 2019. Wow. So you'll see at our locations across the city our hope signs. They will be lit up that night and remain lit up over the winter. And so again, this event is an opportunity for folks to come out November 28th at our Bonaventure Community Garden, 6 to 7, have some hot chocolate, cookies, hear the wonderful new song by the choir with Kelly Loader, and really be part of an in community.
Laura, when it comes to Stella's Circle, it's done such an amazing job of diversifying its revenue streams to do the good work that it does, and social enterprise is such a huge part of that. Could you take a moment and just remind the viewers of the different sort of entities that have been created as social enterprises and what that means?
Absolutely, and actually at that event on the 28th, it'll be our Hungry Heart Cafe, one of our social enterprises that's actually serving the hot chocolate and cookies. Nice. So social enterprises are really built on the idea of getting folks into the workforce, training, and also making revenue for the organization. So we have our Hungry Heart Cafe on Rollins Cross. We do our Clean Start, which is cleaning services for commercial places, and we also have a home to stay, small renovation social enterprise. Amazing. In all of them, there's amazing participants, people who have accessed our services, community members who are getting back into the workforce in a way that works for them. That's the important thing. Yes. People deserve opportunities to work in an environment that supports them and in a way that meets their needs. That's what social enterprises offer, and really also offer really great services. So I encourage folks to come by, check out the Hungry Heart. I just had a scone and a meeting before I came here. Their food is wonderful.
It is amazing, and as someone who lives
So
around the corner,
good.
like I mentioned, I have been up in there, so I just appreciate so much that space. Everything that you guys are doing across the city and beyond, it's incredible. In our final second before we throw, I want to ask you to let the folks viewing at home know how they can get in touch and what they can do to help.
So again, accessing us on our website, stellacircle.ca, hitting that Giving Tuesday button. And this year for Giving Tuesday, our campaign is 100 homes for the holidays.
Right.
So as I said, 85 units. We're in the process of building 15 more. The gifts will go directly into those 15 new units of affordable housing.
That's amazing, so important and so timely. Will you come on again and keep us in touch about the great work that you guys are doing?
Love to. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Always, thank you so much. Everybody viewing at home, stellacircle.ca, incredible upcoming campaigns and year-round opportunities to support each other. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I love having a variety of guests on the show that can teach me different things. And under the umbrella of wellness, I am here with one of the best, is the one and only Dr. Shane Seal. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing great, well dressed. I'm glad I put on a collared shirt. That's for sure. I would have felt pretty underdressed hanging out with this guy. So Shane, I want to ask you, what led you into the medical arena?
Started off in undergrad. Studying sciences, and I was a lifeguard. I loved the first aid aspect of it.
Right.
And then from that, it just turned into wanting to become a doctor.
Amazing. And so, yeah, lifeguard times. I'll try not to dive deep, pardon the pun, into that. But yeah, it is the first exposure you probably had as a teenager into the world of helping folks out and helping folks feel safe. Hey,
Yeah, definitely.
that's cool. And so, you move into the medical field. And all those years go by, and that's why we have such a respect for folks in our medical communities, because the time it takes to become the expert that you do, because we're putting our lives in your hands every day. What led you into your area of practice?
Well, it wasn't direct. I started off learning. I thought I was going to be a family doctor, and then fell in love with surgery. And started off as an orthopedics resident, and then within that training you do a lot of different services, and discovered plastic surgery and how much I loved it, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where do you practice, and what goes on in the day-to-day life of Dr. Seal?
Well, I'm currently here in St. John's, and I've been here since 2010. Up until now, I've been a mixture of private practice and public at the hospitals, and I'm just currently taking a year sabbatical from the hospital, so I'm currently full-time at my office here in St. John's.
Doing all the things that you love to do and that we want you to do for us, but out of your own practice.
Correct.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it takes a team to make it happen, am I right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I have a great team at my office and my clinic there.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that, being in your spot as I have, the energy and the camaraderie is amazing. And, I think that's a special thing. How do you keep a team so talented and so jiving as yours is? What's the secret? Tell me everything.
Oh, I don't know if there's a secret, but I'm fortunate. I find myself very fortunate to have the team that I have right now. We get along, we work hard, and we really do care about what we're doing. And I think that's what keeps us together, I think.
Of course, a shared passion, right?
Yes, definitely.
So under the umbrella of what you do, there's a lot of aspects to it. Why don't you let the viewers know at home the different types of things that you do at your office there?
So at my office, we have estheticians on staff, we have nurse injectors, and myself. So we're all about trying to help people feel better. It really is. It's about feeling better, feeling more confident, and whether that's going to be something as simple as some laser treatments for some skin issues, or all the way to surgery by myself. We have a pretty wide range of options for patients to consider.
Well, on your website, there's a whole bunch that you have to offer folks, and some of the services are brand new, some have been around for a while. When it comes to the subject of energy-based solutions, I think that you may be one of the, I'll say, have the most to offer when it comes to the services you provide. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, we have a wide range of energy-based treatments, and it's important to me to be up to date and current as well with what's going on elsewhere in the country.
Well, speaking of which, you're like Carmen Sandiego's brother. You're all over the place. I see online, you're here, you're there, doing talks and meeting folks. And what's that like, the desire and the need for continual education? Because things are changing all the time, am I right?
It is. It's an ever-evolving field, which is exciting.
Of course.
But it means you need to go outside your comfort zone, go outside your geographical area and find out what other people are doing and what they're talking about. And I was fortunate to be out in Alberta and British Columbia last week giving some talks on injectables and facial rejuvenation. So it was a great opportunity to meet other people and see what they're doing at their clinics.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing, and the number of services that you offer and the depth of the technology, I mean, that's no joke. You're not spending like $100 to get that machine, and that's a great investment. So when your customers and your clients come to you, the types of things that you would like the folks viewing out here watching this interview to know that they can expect from you and your team, what would you say?
I think we'll give you our honest opinion. I think because we're fortunate to have such a wide range of options, we really can give you what we think is going to suit your goals best. Right. Again, whether it's something as simple as a cream that you can buy in our boutique there, or something as aggressive as surgery potentially, right?
Sure.
It's such a wide range, which is really exciting.
That's amazing. Now listen, I know how much you guys give back. And I know that coming up is an annual focus on that, even though you do it all year round. And so there's a tree and there's different, how does that work? Yeah,
so we have a Christmas tree set up in the clinic, and we have different prizes in envelopes, sealed envelopes. And so you donate $40 to get an envelope, and we have a minimum value of the return is I think $75 up to about $700.
Oh wow!
We have some corporate partnerships with some of the companies we work with who've given us free prizes, and all the proceeds, every cent of that $40 goes towards a charity every year. And historically, we've decided as a team which charities we've wanted to give to. Right. But this year, we're going to put it out on social media and have a nice vote and see. Let's get our clients and our patients deciding where they wanted to go this year, which is going to be really fun.
I love that. That's so great. I want to turn it over for a moment and talk about, a different side of what you do, because yes, there's the procedures and there's the consultation and the depth of services and things that you guys are expert in that you can help us with, from aesthetic right down into surgical needs, of course. But you do so much, and I just want to know how does it make you feel to have so many folks have benefited from the work that you do to help them regain their sense of self, but also to help them evolve into a more comfortable, confident self? I mean, what's that like for you? How proud are you of that?
Well, that's what makes me love my job. Yeah, it's what gets me up in the morning and gets me to keep looking at new options and new ways of doing it. I love it. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Living in the gratitude. So what's next before, in our final minute here of this hang, come back again, I hope.
Right. Love to.
So what is next? What are you thinking about in terms of what the viewers here want to know of what you can do for them in 2024? Let's just recap that so they can walk away with all the ideas.
Well, again, we're here to make people feel better, to feel more confident. So we're here to identify those issues and to have a discussion. Really, I think the most important thing is there's no pressure when you come to see us. We're here to help guide you or to help direct you as you see you want to go, and we're just here to be part of your journey, really.
I love it. That's so great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, what you want to do is you want to check out Dr. Shane Seal online. Check out the website and the Instagram and the Facebook. They do lives, information to help educate you of all the incredible services and solutions that they offer. Check them out today. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I am so excited to be joined by two powerhouse women who are talking about something that you need to hear about and talk to your friends about. Ladies, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Thanks.
Sonya, Susan, I'm so happy to meet, and talking earlier and having some laughs. I feel like I know you already.
Yeah, sure.
I want to start. You are both involved in a very important annual event that's been going on for 20 years. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, so in previous years it was known as Breast Cancer Retreat Style Conference. And like we had said that Jerry Rogers, 20 odd years ago,
That's right.
she had found it, and then of course Jonah Coyne took it over. So she's the head of our committee, and yeah, so it's been a number of years. It's been just breast cancer, women diagnosed with breast cancer. But this year, for the first time, we are opening it up to all women with cancer.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, we've noticed, I guess, just being cancer survivors ourselves and talking to other women who were also survivors of cancer, that breast cancer seemed to have a lot of support, and there were other people who really didn't have any support because they may have been smaller numbers or whatever the case may be. So in order to offer them the opportunities that we've had to come together and to learn and to share and to have that level of support, we felt that this would be an opportunity for everyone who's on a cancer journey, any woman in our province.
That's amazing. So incredible. And the evolution of this from where you started to where you are now, how proud are you when you look back at the journey based on your time and the knowledge you have of the years previous? How does it make you feel to be part of something that is so important and helps so many women?
Well, it's very empowering. I know in 2016, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I didn't know anybody else who had my age with a similar diagnosis, and it wasn't until I met Susan and the rest of the women that I realized how important the education, the support that you can receive by going to such an event. So I know what it's done for me personally, but now to be able to help other women with cancer diagnosis, like I said, now this year for the first time, any cancer diagnosis that a woman has, or has had, or going through treatment currently, or just recently diagnosed, to be able to share that with, a larger group of women is
so amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
How do you negotiate the emotions that are so raw and so real for you every day, and how do you show that strength, growing our strength full circle, to the women who may come into this for the first time? And I'll ask you, what's that like?
Well, last year, I remember that meeting at the registration desk someone who had been diagnosed 1 week before and was there putting themselves out there and saying, I'm here to absorb it all. Whatever you have, whatever's going on, I want to be a part of. So for us, that is why we're there. That's why we're doing this, because we want people to have an opportunity before they start things to get a heads up on how things are going to be, and to hear it from somebody who's been there, who knows. A lot of times we've all spoken about, people want you to be well. So it's, you've been through your treatment, so you're good now. You're okay, you look great, you're good. But, we know ourselves that you don't always feel that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So to be able to be real with people and say, yes, all these things have happened and you've had your treatment and you've got a good prognosis, sometimes you still need to hear the reality is it can still stay with you. And,
Yeah.
I can only tell you, I work deeply with another cancer-based organization, and so I can tell you the journey from what I've learned, which is such a learning process always, it's never really over.
No.
And so the relationships that you forge through this annual conference are year-round and forever.
Absolutely.
How special is that, and how important is that for the folks whose lives have been touched by cancer?
Yeah.
It's very, very important. I
It
mean,
is.
we see women who come back year after year. We've had people who've been to basically all the conferences.
Wow.
Right through. And some of them, sadly have had family members, and they've brought their daughters, and they've brought their nieces, and so we see a lot of that through the conference. And we also meet women who this is their only experience of support. They may fly in from Labrador. They may, come from a small
All over the
community in rural
Really?
Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So this one weekend, is it for them to be with people who have the same experience.
That's incredible.
So it's super important for
and
us.
make connections with women who have been through similar experiences and maintain those connections. You know, a lot of people say they've met lifelong friends. We have an online support group as well.
Yes,
so
I heard a lot
just
about
kinda,
that. So talk more about that as well.
Yeah, we have like a Facebook private support group. Where women could just jump on there and ask any questions or connect with other women, or maybe it could be someone they met at the conference, and like outside of that, the connections that take place after the fact are, I mean, there's no words to describe the benefits.
My mom was raised with a bunch of sisters, and so whenever I meet women who I feel the sister vibe between them, it's pretty special because I grew up in that, and hanging out with you both, I feel that.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting, sometimes struggle brings us together, but for all the right reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you look at the community and the over 100 women that are going to be coming to this incredible conference this year, and maybe there's women at home watching tonight who are wondering and hearing about this for the first time, what do you have to say?
Well, I'd highly encourage any women that's facing a cancer diagnosis, or even if they're done treatment, it's been years later, highly recommend coming to this conference. Like, once again, we know what it's done for us personally. I can't speak for Susan, but I was very hesitant on going to my first conference and meeting, because you hear the word cancer conference, you feel like it's going to be this kind of
overwhelming.
Yeah, but then when I got there and I seen what it was all about, and like I said, we have all kinds of education sessions that women could learn, but also, there's a lot of fun things as well, and you meet people and make the connections and have conversations about things that you normally wouldn't have with other people who haven't been through cancer. So I'd highly encourage anybody to come. Because, and I know we had a few people at the conference last year who said they were hesitant. Pretty much, said that we knew what they needed before they did, type thing, and we're just more than grateful that as hesitant as what they were, we kept encouraging them, and she showed up, and
I love it. Listen, we're throwing out. I want to ask you, how can folks get in touch to learn more and to register to attend?
Well, we're providing the
Cancer
Care Foundation link here, and we also have an administrative person, Emily, who is part of our committee, and that's Emily's number there.
There she is.
And Emily will answer any questions that anyone has.
Love it.
Any information that they would need in terms of, like, if they needed to stay an extra day because of travel, if they need, special, like, dietary, if they have anything in particular that they needed to make this conference happen for them, we will make it happen.
She can answer any of those questions. And you can go directly to the website there, and there is a place there to register as well. But there's also a copy of the agenda for the weekend.
Perfect.
So the women can have a look and see exactly what it is that will be happening from the 17th to the 19th of November.
Ladies, thank you so much. We don't get anywhere alone, do we?
No.
Absolutely not.
Well, I think there's a lot of women who are thankful for you, just as you are thankful for each other.
Absolutely.
And as we are all thankful for Joan.
Yes, for sure.
Joan, you the queen bee. We love you.
Indeed.
Indeed. So listen, I'll tell you what, guys, check it out. This is going to be an amazing conference. You need to talk about this with the loved ones in your life. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves